I found on Indiegogo very interesting item and supported it, so I have early access for it. You cannot support this item anymore, the campaign ended, and you cannot yet buy this item in the store. I don't know when it will be available for purchase, but I have it right here. And why did I supported it? Because this is a power bank that has a power output of 310 watts. I haven't seen anywhere power bank that can output so much power. And this power bank is from Ohio, so not some random company. It's a well-known company, so I trusted them that they won't just take my money and don't deliver anything. They delivered the product. There were some problems, it was delivered later than expected, but it arrived. And so I want to unbox it, test it if it really can output 310 watts at the same time. Of course, not from the one port, because USB doesn't support that big powers. It can output on one USB-C port 140 watts, on second one 140 watts, and on USB-A port 30 watts. So in total 310 watts. So you can easily charge two powerful laptops and smartphone at the same time from this power bank. It can also be charged really fast because it supports 180 watts charging. Of course, not on a single port, because one port can support 140 watts. So you need two USB-C cables connected to this power bank to charge it with full power. What about its capacity? They say it's 74 watt hours. I also want to test it. I will test what is the capacity when I will output high power from this power bank, and later what will be the capacity when I will take low power from this power bank, and see the difference. How big will be the difference between taking a lot of power and a little bit of power from this power bank, and how close it will be to the declared value. And additionally, the package, they send the pouch. So let's unbox this and let's test it. If it is really that good as they promised, or if it is not that good. And first let's see the box, what they said on the box. Its name is Starship 310 watts. If you would like to search for it, here we have information about the power capacity. It has built-in display. Here are some warnings. And at the bottom, we have a huge list of possible power outputs using available ports. And let's open it. This is the power bank. It's not really huge. It's not small, but it's not really huge. Here are the ports, two USB-C input and outputs and one USB-A. Here are some details written and a button. And is there anything more in the box? Cable and manual at the bottom. Useful information. So let's see the bottom. Not this bottom, but this bottom. And here is a cable, 140 watts USB-C cable. I don't know more details about this cable, but at least it should support 140 watts. And manual and some additional informations. Manual is in a form of this long paper. I hope I won't need this manual. This is a power bank. It shouldn't be complicated. Let's press the button and it is showing something. We have 30% battery. It's not the brightest display, especially when I am in a light room, but it shows it is 30% charged. It should also show what's the current power input and output. And I want to test one additional thing. If I can charge and discharge this power bank at the same time. So let's say that you have a charger that is 65 watts, for example, and you have a laptop that you want to charge with 140 watts. Can you charge the laptop with 140 watts from the power bank and charge the power bank with 65 watts at the same time? So the power bank will discharge slower. I will test it. Let's also open this pouch. And does it fit? It fits perfectly. A little protection for traveling in the backpack And so let's try to take 310 watts at the same time from this power bank. It's not a simple thing to do, but I am prepared. Right here I have two receivers. Both of them can take 140 watts. And for additional 30 watts I have USB-A receiver and a trigger to trigger 12 volts on the USB-A port. Let's try it. Here I have one cable that supports 140 watts. It's also from the same company, from Ohio, so it should be compatible for sure. Let's connect it to one port, and here to first device. As the second cable, let's use the cable that provided us, because it also should support 140 watts. To the USB-A port, let's connect this trigger, and let's set it to 12 volts. It is set to 12 volts. This tester additionally needs its own power by a micro USB cable. And I will move the camera closer so you can see everything, and we'll dim the lights to better see all the displays, so you will be sure what will be the results. The first device has 20 volts input set from the first cable. The second device from the second cable also has 20 volts set. The trigger, it is in standby mode. It is set to 12 volts, 2.5 amps. Let's turn it on. It powered off. Why? And doesn't want to work at 12 volts. USB-A 12 volts, 2.5 amps. It should be able to deliver it. Maybe let's connect additional power to this device. It doesn't want to output 2.5. Let's start with lower current and rise it up while it's running. I can get only 2 amps. Let's see other protocols. Quick charge free. Still only 2 amps. Let's see this protocol. Let's test one more. Still only 2 amps. I don't know if it is because it is only 30% or if it can only support 2 amps, but they write right here that it should be able to support at 12 volts 2.5 amps, and I can only get 2 amps. So first problem. Okay, so let's set it to 2 amps and see the USB-C ports, if they will work. Okay, let's see, 12 volts 2 amps. Still problem. Now it is working, so 22 watts. I cannot get 30 watts from this port. And let's see the screen. You can see 21 watts right here. Let's try to turn on this device. We get 100 watts, but I don't want 20 volts, I want 28 volts. Now let's turn it on. Almost 140 watts. This device is still running. And let's turn on the last one. Also, let's increase the voltage to 28. And now we have this one turned off. This one is working. and this one is working. On the screen we have 48 watts, 93 and 18 watts. Those numbers doesn't seem right because this one takes 0, this one takes 137 and this one takes 20 watts. So 25% battery left and those numbers are not quite right. Let's try to turn it on back. 134. It is turning off, it has problems. Okay, I turn off the devices, the power is dropping, it has 23% left. Let's start by charging it fully and then testing the maximum power output, because maybe at lower power it has some problems. Let's give it a chance, let's charge it. It didn't work as good as expected, but let's give it a chance. Let's unplug everything. I have two fast chargers right here. One is 140 watts, second one is only 100 watts. First try with a single charger, and I will put this meter to see what's the difference between the energy showed by this meter and by the screen built-in device. And then let's connect two chargers at the same time. From the charger to the input, and from the output, let's connect this to the power bank. And will power bank show something? Out in zeros. I can see right here that it's not yet charging. But why are you not charging? Let's connect it directly without the meter. Okay, now it is charging. 136 watts from a single cable, and AC it is taking 147 watts, so it looks alright. Let's connect the second charger and let's see what will happen when I will connect the second cable. It is beginning to take power. $137 watts I see right now, so not a big increase. It's not yet charging with 180 watts, and right now it is 27%, so it doesn't use full 180 watts that it should be able of. 137 is still a lot, but not the full potential. I'm not sure what is it dependent of, what power it can use. It has quite low level of the battery and it's quite cool because I wasn't using it much. Now I will just wait and then repeat trying to discharge it with full power when it will be more charged up. If then maybe I will be successfully be able to output this 310 watts that they promised. It is fully charged. At the end it was charging slower, it was inputting like 80 watts, but still it charged fast, 100% in. And now let's repeat trying to output 310 watts at the same time from this power bank. Let's try to quick charge 2.0, 12 volts, and let's see if there will be any difference. No change right here. Let's connect the testers back. Here I am outputting 21 watts, and let's try to turn those on. 137 watts, and here 130, and two devices turn off. Okay, let's now disconnect this USB-A. Let's try only with USB-C ports. Let's turn on first one. Now I'm taking power only from one port. I don't know why it is showing 30 watts from the second port. Only one port right now is working. Second one is taking 0 watts. So the display is not quite correct. But let's turn on the second one. And it turned off. Let's lower the first one to 4 amps. Let's set the second one also to 4 amps. Now let's try to turn them on. Nope. 4 amps and 1 amp. It's showing incorrect values. Let's go here to 5 amps. Here we have incorrect values. Let's try to increase this one. 2 amps. 3 amps. 4 amps. And it turned off. Unfortunately, it's not so perfect. I cannot output 310 watts from it. 140 watts on one port is no problem. Even 4 amps on the second one, it was working. On the USB-A, I cannot get 30 watts, only 20 watts. So it can output above 200 watts, but I cannot get from it 310 watts. So it's still powerful, but not as powerful as they promised. I think you still would be able to charge 2 laptops at the same time with it without problem, because laptops don't take constantly 140 watts. They take, for example, 80 watts, and 2 times 80 watts it should without problem do, but not 2 times 140 watts and not 30 watts on the USB-A port. Now let's test if I can output 140 watts and input 65 watts at the same time. If that situation will work, because it would be useful. For example, in the car, you would be slowly charging the power bank, but fastly charging the laptop from the power bank. Let's test it fastly. I disconnect the fast chargers and I will connect this charger that has only 65 watts. So first let's power the tester from the power bank. It is taking 137 watts. And now let's connect second cable as an input for this power bank, and what will happen. I can see it starts to take power, 20 watts, 23, 24. This charger is taking 48 watts AC, converting it to DC and charging this power bank. And this power bank is outputting 136 watts for the receiver. And on the screen, you can see 138 watts output, which is correct this time, and 42 watts input at the same time. So at least it is working. So you can make that the charger is more slowly discharging when fastly charging other device. You don't have to slowly charge the device from the outlet. You can fastly charge the device from the power bank. It will discharge, but you can connect slower charger to it, and it will be charging and discharging at the same time, so it will be just slowly discharging, slower than without the input. But let's see one more thing. What if I will connect fast charger as the input and high output? What power will it use from the input? It is taking 94 watts right now from the charger, and on the screen you can see 138 watts output, 84 watts input. So it's not using all 140 watts that it could use from this charger. It's taking less, so it is still discharging. I'm down to 68% from 100%. Because at such high powers, it is easy to discharge it quite fast because it's supposed to have 74 watt hours. So if you output 140 watts, it will last for half an hour. But let's test it if it really has 74 watt hours. I will first discharge it using 140 watts. It should last around half the hour, and we will see how much watt hours will I get from it. And let's do second test later, for example 25 watts, and we will see how much energy will I get then, if there will be difference. And then it should last for around 3 hours. So first let's fully charge it, and then let's discharge it, charge it back, and discharge it again, and see the results. It is fully charged, so let's reconnect everything and let's use this device. Energy is zeroed, we have 0 watt hours. Let's set it to 28 volts, 5 amps, and let's turn it on. 137 watts. This is the power that I will take until the power bank will shut down. On the power bank we see 138 watts, so it is correct this time. Already 98%, 97. On the counter we will see how much watt hours will I get. Expected value is 74 watt hours, but because I'm using 140 watts, I expect less, but I hope it's not a lot less. We will see in a while. While I was stacking, it is already 95%. So it won't take a long time to discharge, and I will be back in a while. It stopped outputting power. Let's see the results. It worked for 20 minutes and outputted 45 watt hours. So quite far from the 74 watt hours. But let's see if the power bank is empty. 1% left. So when outputting 140 watts, we get only 45 watt hours from declared 74. So not quite much. Let's now charge it fully again and discharge it using 25 watts and see if there will be difference in received power. It is fully charged again, 100%. Let's connect it to the receiver, and I set the parameters to 20 volts, 1.25 amps, and 0 watt hours right now. Let's turn it on. So we are outputting 25 watts. Let's put it down. Let's see on the device if it is showing the same value. 24 watts on this screen and 25 watts on this screen. So let's see this time how many watt hours we received from this device. So the next test ended. It lasted for 2 hours and 42 minutes and I received 67 watt hours. So not 74 watt hours as declared. I won't do next test with even lower power because it would take very long time, and 25 watts is a normal power usage, I think, that your smartphone or other smart device may use. Maybe if you would take 5 watts it would be closer to those 74 watts, but I haven't got those 74 watts. Here are 67 watts in 2 hours 42 minutes. So there is big difference. What power do you take from this power bank? The bigger power, the less capacity you have. So you have to know that if you would like to charge 2 laptops at full power, you won't get 74 watt hours from this power bank. You will get much less. So it's an important knowledge. And let's see the power bank. How many percent does it have left? 0% left. So this power bank is not perfect. I couldn't output 310 watts and I couldn't also output 2 times 140 watts from both USB-C ports. I could output less, and the capacity is 74 watt hours. I cannot get them. Maybe if I would output 1 watt, but I won't wait for 3 days to see what will be the results when outputting 1 watt. But 67 watts I received when outputting 25 watts. So maybe a few watts more you could get. When you use big power, you will get even less. And the screen is really dim. Now I use less light than at the beginning, and you can still see that it's quite dim. So I expected more from this power bank, but it's not available at store. I got it from Indiegogo, so it's not quite official product. Maybe the final version will be better than this. I don't know if I can name it prototype or early version or how to name it, but this version that I have right here is not perfect, and I expected more from this device. And that's all for today. Like, subscribe, and be nice.